the Economic Report. Brian here once again, checking in with you and having, of course, as you know by now, my cup of coffee, and we're going to talk about anything regarding recessions and or anything else appropriate involving economics right here, right now during this live show. And I want to welcome you aboard. And of course, I want to remind you, if you are just joining me today, you already know, but a like and a subscribe will get this a notification to remind you when we are going live. And of course, people are jumping all over yesterday's long form video about double trouble. Yes, right from this community, and some wonderful insights I received while I was working a festival over the weekend. And so, with that, I'm glad that you're here. And once again, liked and subscribed does wonders. But I do respond to comments inside the chat as long as they're appropriate. And of course, we do have a filter here, and I'm the filter, and we don't like any kind of garbage that doesn't belong on this channel. And you know what that is by now. You know what's good, you know what's right. And of course, what we really want to do is just go ahead and make sure that we're engaging and answering the questions that matter and matter a lot. Because right here, we are talking recession. Yes, recession fears, they are very, very real. And I'm here to say that after the revised employment numbers that came in, and this is something that really, really irked the president, that his numbers were so, and I do mean so off, almost as if there's some kind of game being played behind his back, right? He had employment numbers that were really high. He's trying to talk the Fed chairman into making some moves here, like lowering interest rates. And all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, the Fed chair says, I can't lower the rates. The job market's hot, etc. And now, what do we find out? Well, those revised job rates were really, really off, like terribly off, and so off that the president of the United States says, you're fired. And of course, yeah, that's something that's happening in real life. But of course, that's also part of his persona from a TV show that he was on called The Apprentice, in which he would get rid of people and fire them. So with that, he's got a little bit of mojo there. And without a doubt, there's a lot of concern about where things are heading. So once again, make sure you are liked and subscribed, and we are going ahead and continuing with the recessions. And of course, anyone here who is interested in dropping a comment that is appropriate, we'll go ahead and respond to that. And we can talk about recession in a little bit more detail. A recession is negative economic growth. All right, and welcome, Jay. I've got you there, and I'll go ahead. Floressa J, welcome to the Economic Report. Glad to have you here. I'm glad you're liking and subscribing to this channel so I can continue to deliver right to your inbox. So glad to have you here visiting. If you have anything regarding the economy, go ahead and fire away. That's what we're on about today, and we're talking really recession fears. And the format that I do this channel in is real simple. It's just live here from my studio, which is good. Maybe in the not too distant future, I'm going to try a different format where I can actually put my face in the bottom of the picture and, of course, scroll through news stories with you. I don't know if that's something that people like or not. What I've found most liked so far is the fact that I'm here on screen talking about the things that matter and matter a ton to you. So once again, thank you for joining me, and thank you for liking and subscribing. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. These people like it, and so I ask, and I'll ask more than once, so please forgive me on that. So the U.S. economy, it says here in one story that we are on the precipice. We are right on the edge, overlooking the abyss, of course, maybe like the Grand Canyon, for instance. One Moody chief economist go ahead and warns U.S. On the precipice of another recession. This is the same story repeated about 3 or 4 times. And maybe that's one thing we need to always be mindful of whenever we're getting news stories is there's usually the story, and then there's about 5, 10 other people who take that story and they try to turn the story, put it in their own words, etc. And of course, you really got to consider your source, because if you don't have a good source, then, geez, whatever you are repeating, it is now no good at all. So just something to take into consideration. Evelyn, glad to have you here. Welcome to the Economic Report. You are amazing. Glad to have you participating. And so with that, why changing monetary and immigration policies may be edging the U.S. closer to a recession. Go figure, immigration policies affecting, yes, you better believe it. And of course, you better believe these are real things. Uh, Jay, I've already said hello to you again, but I'll say hi to you a second time. If you would like to leave any kind of comments here regarding this economic report, I'd love to dive into it with you. How the economy went from 3% annual growth rate to, well, this is another source. You got to consider your sources when you go to news stories. Well, consider the source, it's the LA Times, and they are without a doubt known for being a really like super left wing news organization. So everybody kind of has their angle, and maybe that's part of the reason why I like doing the economic report. The fact is, there's so much information and so much misinformation, and maybe in some cases, information overload. I try to cut through the stuff that's going on Wall Street, the stuff that's going on in DC, and maybe try to bring them down to a Main Street type perspective because I think that's what people really need. How do you filter out all the crud? Well, that's kind of what we try to do here on this economic report. And we get some pretty robust participation in my long form videos. And of course, the shorts, well, those are just fun. And of course, these live sessions, I really like to engage with whoever the audience is here. And I'm getting a ton of highs. So Edwin, hi to you. Glad to have you here as well. Welcome to the Economic Report, sir. And want to remind you to be liked and subscribed there as well, Ed, because people like you make my day. So let's check this out here a little bit. How on earth can we go from a 3% annual growth rate in the U.S. economy to the brink of a recession 2 days later? That's the question that is posed by the the LA Times, and basically says right here off the top, for a brief shining moment last week, it seemed as if the U.S. economy had dodged a tariff-powered bullet. Domestic product grew at an annual rate of 3%. The government announced Wednesday, rather higher than a 2.3% projected by the economists. And Gianna, welcome to the Economic Report. Glad to have you here as well. And of course, way better than expected is what Donald Trump said. And of course, what happens next? Well, says the Trump economy has officially arrived, says someone else. And then, of course, a couple days later, the job report came out. And the job report, well, it wasn't exactly what the president wanted to hear. So that's what I'm sharing with you. And that's part of maybe, you hear a story, then you hear the other part of a story. And what do we do somewhere in between? Well, we get somewhere in between. Ed, glad to have you here as well. Okay, hold on. Gianna, glad to have you here. And folks, with that, I just wanted to make sure we covered maybe that aspect of the economic report and maybe part of the news cycle as well. Anybody here own cryptocurrency? Anybody here? Go ahead, drop that in chat. I'd love to hear from you. Well, Edwin, thank you for that. Anybody own crypto here? How about precious metals? Because we have been checking in on those prices on a regular basis. So I'm going to add that's okay. You don't have to own them per se, but how about we just raise people's awareness just a teeny bit more about these things? I'm going to go ahead and go what I do on every one of our live parts. Yes, folks, you better believe it. We're going to go to the Kitco gold prices. And Kitco gold price, what are we seeing gold doing today with those recession fears? I am very curious. How did gold react? Well, gold, it's up another $2.10. So currently trading at $33.75 and 40 cents. We'll see once again, how did silver react? Because it's another good one to ask, right? What are we getting from the silver charts? And we can see, like without a doubt, there's the gold price. We'll check silver. It's, gold, by the way, was trading at 3333.20 about 2 weeks ago. So you have seen a bump in gold prices here. Silver prices we're seeing was teetering right around 37.38. So it's about $37.51, up just a couple cents, about 16 cents today. Not a bad number, of course. If you are into trading any kind of the gold, silver, those precious metals, it's never the problem of getting a hold of those things. It's always like, how do you get rid of them when it's time to sell, right? And some people want to be hoarders, and I don't know if hoarding is really a great thing to do, and it's sometimes not necessarily the most cost-effective thing to do. Knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them is what the gambler used to say. And without a doubt, you dumping those precious metals at the right time is really a powerful place to be as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. What is it trading at right now? Because that's thrown out there quite a bit. Okay, it's down like 951 bucks today, trading at 114,000 bucks a coin. So that's part of the reason why people are a little bit skeptical about all these cryptocurrencies. You have a pretty significant fluctuation, and of course, what do you look for in your currency? Well, you look for something that has stability, right? If you've got stability, you've got a lot, and if you don't have stability, well, you're kind of in trouble, and you really can't be adopted as a cryptocurrency of the world. And by the way, folks, I got you've signed in here. Make sure you are liked and subscribed, because it does matter, and it matters very much to the channel, and matters a ton to YouTube as well. So thank you for helping me out with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next crypto that we check in on a regular basis. That one is Ethereum. ETH is the symbol as well. Ooh, Ethereum's down 2.5% today as well. Thank you, Edwin. You are amazing. Thank you very much, pal. We appreciate it. Does wonders for the channel. So thank you, sir. Ethereum down. Geez, about 80 bucks today. So it's not a great day for crypto, at least not yet, right? I take it back. It's down 93. So it's trading at $3,662.93 per Ethereum. So I'm just sharing that with you as well. And finally, the one that the dark side. Is it Darth Vader? Darth Vader, you are not that guy, are you? Finally, we'll take a look at Solana. That is the one that I do hold, and I'm sharing that with you for no other reason than I had some young people I spoke with at a party, and they were talking crypto to me, and well, Dark Side, go ahead and hit a subscribe for me as well, and you will make my day. Thank you, Dark Side. And with that, Solana, we are looking at 165.91. It's actually showing that this is up a little bit today, but I'm here to say that Solana was trading right around 200 bucks a coin last week, and all of a sudden you're seeing it trading at 165. Thank you very much, Darkside. You are awesome. We're looking at 165. So, geez, if I've got a little bit of that, that would say that I'm really right about even right now with my my Solana, and I bought that in part because it was part of a test here, partly out of curiosity, part out of FOMO. So I put a little bit in there, not expecting some kind of a mega returns as much as trying to educate myself. And folks, the best education you get comes through experience, and oftentimes it costs you a couple of bucks there as well. So that's part of what I did and why I did it. And with that, folks, you have been absolutely wonderful today. You guys are such a cool, upbeat audience. So I appreciate you being here today. And of course, maybe a couple of things I could share here with you at the very end of this. And of course, One of these things is really about the world that's around us, and the fact is there's information overload, and we are constantly being hit with different ideas, different things, whether it's an influencer, whether it's anything else, and of course the news, political cycle, economic cycle also affects people as well. So I just remember that we build this channel in part because it's really here to help cut through a lot of the stuff that's overwhelming and maybe get the real story there. And if we have the real story, we have clarity. And if we have clarity, well, then we win the battle between our ears of our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude. You win that battle, you win a lot. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I will be here tomorrow. And with that, I'll catch you 10 a.m., same time, same place, and maybe, just maybe, a topic that you are going to love. Until then, catch you tomorrow. And thanks for joining me. You guys are awesome.